Boy who was holding that beheading sign at the protest. His mum has come forward to authorities and she has been cleared. But Liberal MP George Christensen says those children should be removed from their parents. He says they should be playing hide and seek, not calling for a jihad or beheadings. That's bringing the angels. Your idea, editor Kim Wilson, commentator Prue McSween, and sexologist, and first-time angel Nikki Goldstein. Good morning, welcome. All right, Kim, should we be worried about young Islamic radicals being raised in our suburbs?
Look, Kochie, I think it is something that we should be worried about. We should be worried about any children that are being raised potentially in a family that might be encouraging violence. And it doesn't matter whether they're Islamic or any other sort of minority group. You know, this is something we should be concerned about. We care about peace and we shouldn't have special rules for one group or for another. You know, we don't want to see this sort of violence in Australia, and yes, we need to be paying attention.
As we didn't want to see the Cronulla riots.
Exactly.
Prue, taking kids away from their families, that's a big step.
It's very radical, and I don't think necessarily it's the right thing to do in this case, because you're just going to inbreed more hatred and, I think separation from the rest of us in Australia. So, but what I'm worried about is maybe the parents need to be removed from Australia. You know, clearly what they think and how they choose to live their lives is very different to the rest of us. I think they're breeding this kind of hate. You know, you saw those 3 or 4 little kids, the anger in that little boy's face. A little boy of 10 or 12 shouldn't be that hateful of hate.
Exactly, but so a lot of those parents are second and third generation Australians. They are bored here, broad Aussie accents. You can't kick them out.
I know. Well, you know, maybe it was interesting. I was talking to the taxi driver who's from the Middle East. He said they should be sent back. They are not true Australians. And I said a lot of them are born here. And he said, I don't care. From their original roots, they should be sent back. And that was a Middle Eastern person saying it.
Nikki, what did you think of that photo?
Well, I was shocked, and I don't think children that young should be at a riot. I think that was pretty irresponsible, but I think I'm not an advocate for taking children away from their parents, but I do think the parents need to be held responsible, and they need to know that children's minds are like sponges, so whatever they're going to say they're going to pick up on. So I do agree with you that it's the parents that need to take responsibility, not taking the children out of the family home.
And we should point out the mum voluntarily put herself into the police. She has been interviewed by authorities, has been cleared, and the son is able to stay in the family. So all the steps in the process are being taken. We've also been talking this morning about the celebrity chefs wanting to import foreign staff. They say young Aussies and apprentices quit when they find out kitchen work is so hard and nothing like the TV reality shows. Prue, young people just too lazy for the hard jobs?
Look, I don't know if it's lazy or if it's what they've been brought up. You know, it's a disposable life. It's instant gratification with videos and IT and whatever else. And I think that really now we've got a group of people who don't want to commit to the hard yards that we all had to do because they've been spoiled a lot all their lives. You know, I employ a lot of Generation Yers and a lot of them are fantastic, but ask them to do menial jobs, these kids who are just out of college, you're kidding me. They don't want to know about it. They don't want to put in the hard yards, sadly.
Debbie from Queensland emailed the soapbox saying her family's mechanical repair business has trouble with young staff. They found one apprentice asleep under a car. Kim, how do we encourage them to work harder?
Oh, Kochie, this is the million-dollar question. It's really hard. I mean, I've got a lot of Gen Y on the team, and they are fantastic and they work hard. There's also been a lot who've fallen by the wayside because, you know, we need them to work hard. We need them to work all hours. And this is a generation who have never really had to fight for a job. They've never, they've been able to jump around the market and sort of go, oh, I'd like to work there, or maybe I'd like to work there, and I want to be the boss, and all of this kind of thing. And, as Prue said, you need to do the hard yards if you really want to crack it.
Nikki, we blame the kids, but should we be blaming us? We are the parents that have brought them up and said to teachers, don't you yell at my young Johnny or Jenny or be mean to them, and everyone must get a ribbon for playing,
Well, I think parents obviously have some responsibility. I mean, I am Gen Y and I was lucky I had great parents who brought me up with a great work ethic, but I think when you look at the pace of life these days and what's available, and people want their piece of pie quickly, and when you can see things like YouTube and you look on Twitter and you see these people get instant fame, fame, it does teach us that, well, you don't need to do the hard work. If you want to get to that point, make a YouTube video, put it up, do something that catches people's attention. You don't have to start down the bottom washing the dishes and doing those tasks.
But so few actually succeed doing it.
Exactly.
And we've heard legal action has begun over those topless photos of Duchess Kate. The world has been outraged over the scandals, but magazines that have published the pictures have been flying off the shelves. Ladies, are we just being a bunch of hypocrites? Let's go to a magazine editor first. Kim?
I think there are a lot of people out there, Kochie, who would love to see the photos, and this week I have never had so many people say to me, what are those photos really like? You know, but there are some things that should remain private and shouldn't appear in the public sphere, and that's what we decided in New Idea.
I haven't got any desire to look at them, and I think that, if you cannot, peeping toms, for example, are condemned in this society. If you can't be in a private area and know you're not going to be photographed, there's something pretty sick, isn't it?
Nikki?
Well, I think it was one of those things that there is that fine line between privacy and public, but if you were trying to go for the tan without the strap line, get one of those bikini tops that you can take the straps down if you are in that position, and you never know when a photographer's going to pop up. Maybe that's something you need to think about. Is it right for her to be sunbaking topless?
Good spray tan.
Exactly.
Healthy.
You want the all over. Get a spray if you want the all over tan.
Can't be a good skinny dip though, can you? All right, thank you, ladies.